sons who is here. He didn't even know Uganda. He didn't even know how to preach. He didn't even understand anything. But the first time I gave him to preach in the church, I told him, don't speak Runyankole. Here we are in Uganda. I'm also a Muchiga, but I've been doing the Uganda preaching and English. So you are going to speak here other languages.
Wow.
And I was seated before him, looking at him, don't speak Runyankole.
You know, it's so funny. Right now in Uganda, there's somebody who was being told to speak Runyankole.
Yes. Because I always, when I'm teaching them to be family as a church, I tell them whether you're a Munyankole, whether you are a Mchiga, Muganda, or where, God brings us together and for a reason. And for that purpose, that is why you're not looking for money in your home districts. Because he has a purpose why he brought you here, maybe in Kampala. So don't segregate, don't despise, just be open to doing the work of Christ. So I started, so in me, I believe I started I had tried missional communities. At a certain point we reached 10. And when the church collapsed, of course, they even chased us away from the building we were in. So both things came together. But I had the thing in me that church is family, so I can still start from zero. I believed that whether I have one who believes in me, by teaching, I'm going to start again. Pastor David in the morning said something that whoever doesn't know how to start church doesn't know how to close them.
Wow.
If you have ever started the church, you are just, you have an experience that you can at a certain point close and start again. It happened on me. So by the grace of God, following, learning and relearning, we started afresh again. Last year in August, I believe in me that and then I started testing many things, and through your teaching, we have recently started discipleship class in the morning, and I had introduced tea in the morning, and then I felt as if it is not working, but after your teaching, I am going back to find the way of making it work.
Wow.
And then we tried again, I tried again to start missional communities. So we formed 10 groups. We are building on them, trusting all the 10 leaders to do the great work. Then building the family, of course, I picked some people that have been teaching behind the scenes, behind the pulpit. And I want to thank God that at least I can count 12 disciples that I can point at.
I mean, if you've never made disciples, you cannot understand what it means to have 12 people.
Yeah.
But 12 people is like a whole church.
Yeah.
If you are starting out. So one thing that is coming out through the conversations, if you guys are following, is the fact that there seems to be a connection with all these stories. We are yet to hear from the two, but we're going to realize that they are a fairly new young church. Even the Joyous Word Church is a young church. Even theirs is a young church. And you can see that, could it be that the Spirit of God is telling us that He's doing something new? With you know, when you listen to our story, you realize that we had been there for some time, but we were disenfranchised, frustrated, and discontented. We felt that there was something that we didn't have a language for. And I want to tell you, friends, that relational missional discipleship is the way that Christ set out His church to be. and that anything else will not work until we do everything he commanded. Part of that scripture says, teaching them to obey everything that I commanded. We could be teaching people to serve God, thinking that we are serving him. And until we obey him, we may not be able to see the fruit that all of us here are giving testimony of.
Apostle, amidst trying to make Jesus Acts Church work, I tried to quench on Bishop Doug having different denominations, and I believed in that. So at that point, there is a pastor friend of mine who was more evangelical, and he got some challenges in a ministry where he was, and I was by good chance serving with him, so I knew everything. Then I picked him up and said, let's start something, because I believe to have different denominations. So we started Believe in Jesus Ministries in Isingiro.
Wow.
Which has a land now.
Wow. Come on
which has, it has not made 4 years, but in July